What's going on? We back. We back. We got Coach Washington up in here. Shout out Coach Washington. We got Emerson Kilgore. Shout out Emerson. Coach Washington coming off a W yesterday, injury fun game. 35-0 against. You could say his little brothers, right? Coach, what's up?
Yeah, man. What up, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, MP, it's always a strong rivalry, so we have that, that little thick blood there.
No
So yeah,
doubt.
they are the little brother school, being in Division 2 and stuff like that. But it was a good solid game, man. Good performance for my guys, solid performance, and it's kind of exactly what we were looking for going into the season. We got a bye week next week, so we were looking to kind of just play solid football at least before we get a break. Give us we got a week to get healthy too. A few guys went down, and we already had a few guys out before that. So I mean, we're just gonna focus up on tuning up on the little things this week, and just getting better, man, and getting healthy for 2 weeks. We'll suck it.
Coach Washington, you came off an exciting season. Coach Rios, all that, handing you the keys to the program, all that good stuff. And did you get some sleep last night?
Yeah, man. Finally, this whole week's been pretty hectic. I'm getting acclimated to my new job over there at Central, as community specialist. So I'm kind of, and then the whole head coaching deal and getting kids' paperwork in and, still game planning. So it's been a pretty hectic week for me. But I finally got some sleep last night. Some good sleep, too, I'm sure, as you can imagine. So I finally got some good sleep after a good dub. So I'm feeling good for sure.
Definitely shout out Central. Do you still have kids coming in looking to sign up? How are your numbers? Because a lot of numbers seem to be low.
I mean, I'm not really having an issue with numbers right now. I think we got about 45 or like 43 right now. Um, I'm still having tryouts. School hasn't started yet, so I expect at least a good 15, 20 kids. I've been hosting tryouts for the past 2 weeks. I had one last week, and then I had one today this morning at noon, and then next week will be the last tryout, and it's basically just for walk-ons and all freshmen. We only have 55 roster spots, only have 55 helmets. So it's kind of like we just can't take just everybody and anyone. You know what I'm saying? Just because of just the limited equipment that we do have. So I mean, the tryout should be pretty high intense next week, and we got 2 days of school, Thursday, Friday. We got a bye week, so the tryout will be Saturday. So that'll give a chance for everybody who doesn't know what's going on. If they're in school that Thursday, Friday, they'll have a chance to come out, try out, and make the team, join the team, and all that other good stuff. But the numbers are good. We don't have a issue with numbers.
And we're definitely going to see Central football, from what I understand, on fans only page this year. So that's going to be great.
Absolutely. All year. Yeah, we're scheduled. We got him. We're working together. Shout out to my guy Ron. We're set up to have all our home games live streamed by Fans Only Sports Network this year. So definitely, everybody will be able to check out a Central game, at least a Central home game.
That's right. And we're going to talk to you
Yeah.
about the games throughout the season. Emerson, what do you think about what Coach Washington is doing with the Central Knights right now? Emerson, you there? Yeah, maybe
M
Emerson. Maybe
probably
he
taking a
can't.
bathroom break.
That's right. That's right. But I love what you're doing over there. What do you look to start your season? What's your schedule and how do you feel going into it?
I feel good. I mean, we got Woonsocket first week. Good friends with Charlie. I know they're kind of in the rebuilding process over there. So we're just looking to get after it for the first official game. Next, we have Portsmouth. That's going to be a tough one. Obviously, they just came out of the Power Four, and they're usually pretty good, pretty solid every year. They have a great quarterback. I know Dustin. He's a great coach. We played them over the past couple years. So I know he does a good job, and I know they'll be ready. And then I think we got South Kingston, Cranston West, then Hendricken. Then I don't know. I think maybe Cranston East, something like that after that. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
the
have it in front
schedule.
of me.
Yeah, the schedule's pretty solid though, well rounded. I think we'll be in for a battle every week. That's one of the good things I like about Division 1 though, man. Is just that you just have to compete every week. You can't take your foot off the gas. You can't um you can't underestimate anybody. You can't go into any games like it's a sure thing. So I mean, just playing in Division 1 in general is just it's tough, but it gets our kids in the right mindset to where we're not overlooking anybody, and they're just expecting to play their best football. Well, they have to play their best football every week, especially now with the whole 2 championship brackets. Obviously we want to make the state championship bracket, so every single game is important this year to secure that 1 and 2 seed. So, yeah, man, we got our foot on the pedal, and we just got to get better every week, every practice, every day.
Let me see if Emerson's back. Emerson, you back? Nope, maybe
I'm
not.
back.
Oh, I asked you a minute ago. What do you think about the intensity of Coach Washington and what he's doing at Central?
Mike, can
You
you hear
heard?
me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep.
What do you think about
He was in
Coach
a dead spot.
Washington? Yeah, what do you think about Coach Washington and what he's doing at Central High School right now?
I think he's doing a fantastic job there. As I've said previously, he was definitely the right guy for the job, and it shows. I mean, look what you just did, and and honestly, I have to agree with you. I mean, the one thing you're definitely gonna have to focus on is, every game in Division 1 is like a championship game. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna
man.
have to have that mentality going in there because it's with any one of the teams can compete for that championship spot. Everyone keeps talking about who's going to be number one and this and that, everything else. Honestly, nothing's guaranteed.
Exactly.
Nothing is guaranteed. You play your best every single time you get a shot to play, and things can happen. And that's why, honestly, I see where your team is going to be a little dangerous because people might kind of sleep on you and then you smack them in the face. So
Yep.
I really think you guys you guys do have something to prove this year. Coming off of what you guys did last year,
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to do a great job.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Coach Washington, I'm sure you got things to do. I know you're gonna be hooking up with our boy Coach B-Ball up there. Tell him holler at me. You know what I mean? Shout
Will
out
do.
to Coach B-Ball. But Coach Washington, you're always welcome. Thank you and good luck, Central Knights that are gonna be trying out for the team. You better come bowling.
All right. Thanks, Mike. I
That's it.
appreciate you, Emerson. I'll check y'all later, man.
All right,
Alrighty.
Mikey. Bye.
All right, no doubt.
Coach Washington checking in with us since Central Knights. I like his energy. I like what he's doing, Emerson.
Absolutely. It's that new wave of coaches that are coming in and really really making some noise. Guys have he's been around for a little bit, but now him at the helm here is really a good thing. It's something that I know Central needed, and they're really getting it right now. I mean, he's really taking that program by the horns and really pushing it forward. I look forward to seeing them play these, the upper echelon of Division 1 in Rhode Island. And honestly, I feel, when I said earlier, they do have something to prove because I feel that this year they're going to prove to a lot of folks that they're also one of them upper echelon teams, and they're really going to do something. So, much respect to Mike, getting it done over there and continuing to, lift them kids up and work with them and get them prepared.
Now you're coming from West Pennington, West Warwick football game. How did that go today?
Yeah. It went good. I mean, the score was 28-0, but just obviously from my perspective, obviously, being an official, they played Tollgate, and the one thing, and I'm a Warwick guy, and one thing I definitely noticed with Tollgate is like there were times that they were giving West Warwick the business, but it was just a little inconsistent. So that's really what kind of went there. But I mean, overall, I mean, West Warwick did an outstanding job. I mean, kids were pumped up. kids were executing, and that's what it takes to win football games, and that's what they did. So it really was a good game, and shout out to both coaches, Coach Stringfellow at Tollgate and Coach Pennington at West Warwick. I mean, the kids were going out there giving it the best they can, and obviously there's always going to be one winner and one loser, but overall, I mean, it was a good showing for both teams.
Did you see a difference in the energy on the West Warwick sideline with the addition of Coach Pennington and West Warwick being in such a tough spot for the last 7 years?
Absolutely. You can definitely tell. There's no question in my mind that with Coach Pennington there's a big change, and just with the kids, the excitement, they were energetic. I mean, of course, the kids are always respectful. I wouldn't expect anything less from a program run by Coach Pennington. The kids were very respectful, but they were ready to go. I mean, and both sides were too. I mean, same thing with Tollgate, like they were ready to go as well. But again, the energy that was there, how West Warwick came out, and literally just they had a mission in mind, and that's what they did, and they got it done. So, it was a great job by Coach Pennington and his coaching staff, and I know a lot of those guys over there, and I mean they really just did a good job today. They got those kids prepared. That's really what it took, and they did it.
Yeah, Coach Pennington, I'm glad he was able to get that job. I think that was a great job compared to all the jobs that were available this offseason. And I think he is going to do good things over there.
All right. And, what West Warwick does have a tradition of winning. I know when I was in high school, I know they won, they were Division II Class B back in the day. I mean, they definitely won at least 1 or 2 championships during my time. And, or there was always in the running for it. So it was really, it's a really good thing. I definitely see the West Warwick, football program really taking up a few notches now because of Coach Pennington. And honestly, he had them kids ready. I mean, there was no question about that. I mean, them kids were on fire, ready to go, and they just did their thing. And the bigger thing was just the seeing how those kids are going to react. And honestly, like they've completely bought into what he's been saying to them, and it shows. So. They definitely have a long road ahead of them. This is one good stop on the road here, but as Division II keeps rolling, I mean they're going to have a lot more solid competition, coming around, and I know Coach Pennington's going to get them ready for it.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I'm excited as the Division II schedule, just like a lot of divisions. And another game he was at, Woonsocket and Tolman, which neither coach got the L.
Nope. So that game ended in 0-0. I have to say that Tolman looked good, and honestly, so did Woonsocket. I mean, they had Woonsocket had this one receiver. I mean, he was giving them the business. I mean, he was really doing he was really getting them solid yards, and they kept feeding him the ball, and he kept getting them yards. So Tolman on the flip side of that, I mean, they were running the ball well, and passing the ball pretty good, and up front they looked solid. I mean, I could very easily say that Tolman has one of the better offensive defensive lines in the division. I mean, they are solid up front. And they're and it's only going to get better as the season goes along. So the teams that are going to be facing them are going to be in for a long ride. But the teams look well. They team look really good, and offensively, like I said, Woonsocket looked pretty good. So I mean, they're going to be another one of them teams. It's like, what, they're one of them. I call them one of them scrappy teams. I mean, it's one of them teams that you sleep on them, you're gonna lose. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, it kind of goes to what I was saying before with Coach Washington. Like, you're in Division I, you got to play your best every week. Like, every week's a championship game. There's no doubt about that, because you start sleeping on these teams. Guess what? This team's gonna beat you. And that goes across the board here. So I really think that the Division I, there's gonna be some solid battles here. I look forward to obviously officiating and reading up on how Division One goes. I mean, in all the divisions, obviously, but just it's really going to be solid football played this year, and I'm excited to see all these new head coaches doing their thing, and coaches that are really pushing this new wave of high school football here in Rhode Island. I mean, they're really doing a solid job. So I heard I heard my Pilgrim, how they were down and they came back and won, and how I watched the St. Ray's Shea game where St. Ray's did a good job, and they had two safeties in the game. So it was really it's a really good showing of what we can do here in Rhode Island. And like I said, this is just basically week one. So, but I look forward to seeing how these guys respond. How these guys are going to do, in the upcoming weeks here in the season.
Yeah, Coach Blake was down by 2 touchdowns, come back, win by 1. That was an exciting game. There was a few exciting games. Sure, Burrville, small team in Division 1, 13 to 15 players, sophomore up. The rest, they're all freshmen. They beat Johnston 43 to 22. And I know this is the injury fund, and a lot of younger kids went in later on, like EWG after the first quarter. 6-point game, I think it was, and then they put the younger guys in. So there's definitely a lot of work, a lot of missed tacklings going on this year. A lot of young kids. A lot of work these coaches have.
Yep, and honestly, this is the best time for all these players to get some reps. I mean, reps are just crucial for your overall development in football, and they have the opportunity to get in there and get some game time reps, and go against different competition outside of the guys you have in practice. Like, this is really a good time for all these guys to step up and get a little bit better. Kind of show themselves, and getting them younger guys in. I mean, that's the future of your team. Getting them in, and hey, you might take a beating, or you might beat, or whatever, which is fine. But just getting that opportunity to play. I mean, that's really it with these guys, and I'm glad these coaches are really working with these younger guys and trying to get them better, because that's really what it's about. I mean, that's going to be the future of your program, and I believe a lot of coaches know this. So hopefully, I know this weekend is Labor Day, and it's a little bit tough to have folks only play, but honestly, I'm glad they did, and I'm glad these guys are getting opportunities to play. I mean, that's really what this is about.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of youth level leagues are kicking off their season today, and some of these kids, just their first time having live action. Like Scituate didn't have much live action, and what I seen from Scituate and North Providence, I seen a Scituate team that's hungry and they're believing in Coach D'Souza. North Providence as well. These teams are trying to build an identity. I seen a lot of mistakes, but I also seen a lot of good things.
Right.
I see, so these coaches are just going to work with these kids, and forget that game. It's over. Look at the film. It all starts September 10th.
Right, and to be honest with Coach D'Souza and what he's trying to get done and what he is doing with Scituate, I mean, yeah, there's gonna be some bumps in the road down there. Like, he I know for a fact he's gonna do a phenomenal job down there, but his road is not easy. He has a team that that has decent potential, but has a lot of work ahead of them as well. So, and I know he's the right guy for that job, and he's gonna do what he can definitely do. But there's going to be bumps in that road, but they're going to get there, and that's the thing, and that's the thing they have to understand. Like, yep, you're going to get there. There's going to be some bumps in that road, but ultimately, it's going to take you a little bit, and you're going to get there. But you got to go through to get through. So that's how it works. So they might not have had a good showing in terms of the score, but every game's a learning process. Every it's a learning opportunity for everyone, for the starters and for the twos and threes and everything else. I mean, it's that's how you build. I mean, that's you lay a foundation by laying the first brick, and that's basically what it is with Scituate. So it might take them a little bit, which is fine, but they're well on their way. So I look for good things with them in the upcoming games, and once they start clicking, with what Coach D's doing, they'll be fine. but it's going to take him a little bit, and it's all you can ask for. That
You
opportunity to play. So
you being a big supporter of the podcast, if linemen and stuff need to reach you, where do they go?
they can reach me. And my gym is 401 Strength and Fitness. Is located at 400 Warwick Ave. It's number 7 through 9. One of the things I focus on offensive, defensive linemen. So one thing, honestly, I love all these coaches here, and a lot of coaches starting to catch on as I'm working with them. But what they don't focus on is the trenches. And honestly, this is cliche. You're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I've heard this before," but it's the God's honest truth. The game is won and lost in the trenches. And when you don't focus on that and you just kind of brush it off, and again, not that other positions and other spots don't need work as well, but they need to be equally worked. And the linemen are always kind of the ones that are kind of putting the back burner. So, if you guys want to put in that work with me, I'll be more than happy to work with you guys. Just to get you guys better. Working your footwork. Working your overall functional strength. And strength in general. Just I really want to see linemen succeed here. And if you have that will, you have that desire to work and get it done. I have the gym for you. Again, it's 401 Strength and Fitness, 400 Warwick Avenue, number 7 to 9.
Excuse me, my bad.
Nope.
Definitely, definitely give Ronnie a call at R&R Elite Recruits, and big thanks to Coldwell Banker Coastal Homes, Mark Wright, a presidential award winner. Mark's definitely a big supporter of youth sports. So if you support youth sports, I support you. Emerson, I'm sure you got a busy day. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You always there. UMass was up last I heard, 13-7.
Good.
So they're up there in Maine. Hendricken figured a way to have scrimmages. They had a couple this week. Good for them. But that really hurt us this last off season, not allowing the scrimmages, and hopefully we can all do better together.
Absolutely.
All right, my
Absolutely.
guy. Thank you, Emerson. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Have a good weekend, Mike.
All right, bye bye. My man Emerson, good man. If you're wondering about the scores, Mount Hope beat Tiverton. I think it was 29-0. St. Ray's over Shea. They only played a half game. No score, Woonsocket Tolman game. North Providence beat Situate 34-12. SK beating Charahoe 23-15. Burrville, Coach Ferraro pulling it out. Johnston 43-22. Narragansett beating EWG. Heard it was a close game in the beginning, then EWG pulling out their starters, putting the younger guys in like a lot of teams should have done. Portsmouth beats Rogers 35-6. Central icing Mount Pleasant 35-0. That's going to be a great Thanksgiving Day game at the end of the season. Coventry on Fans Only Sports beating Cranston West. Coventry looks to take down Cranston East to start the season. And if they could do that, they'll start their season on a high, figuring that we beat two D1 teams. So very good game. You can actually catch the Falcons and the Oak as you see it up on the screen over on Fans Only Sports. So check that out on Pilgrim. They were behind early playing EG. Coach Blake Pilgrim figure a way to get it done 28-27. Moses Brown tie game with Cranston East 12-12. Barrington. I'm not sure if this score is correct, but it's Barrington 6-0 over Middletown. Cumberland 28-0. Lincoln graduating everybody. They're a very young team. SK 23-15. Juanita Sanchez 6-6 with Smithfield. And we know West Warwick Wizards winning their game. Congratulations to West Warwick administration, Coach Pennington, all the parents, all the players. What a good win, 28-0. And I heard Classical just opened a can of that whip on Hope, beating them like 34, I don't know, 6 maybe. But yeah, it was a whole bunch of good games. You heard Fans Only Sports going to be working with Coach Wash this year, so you're going to be able to catch some Central Nights games on the Fans Only Sports Network. Go to fansonlysports.com. R&R Elite Recruits. Definitely check them out, and definitely give Coldwell Banker Coastal Homes Mark Ryder Presidential Award winner. I'll have a new graphics for Mark coming up today. But yeah, it was a good way to start off the week. But we're going to be back later. I'm sure Coach Pennington's going to be up in here. We're going to have some more coaches coming up. Coach Dunbar was going to come in, but his game didn't happen. So we're going to talk to Coach Dunbar during the week. Thank you, everybody.